we will talk about Phnom Penh and dark history. Probably you hear about it. It was a dictator, Pol Pot, and he killed almost a third of population of Cambodia. So this will be our first part of our live stream. Then we will have something more positive, and it will be beautiful, historical and monumental Angkor Wat. And then we will finish in one of the most beautiful islands I ever visited, and these islands are Korong and Korong Sanloem. They are on the south of Cambodia. Also, in the previous days, you sent me a few interesting questions, and I can see your comments, guys, and I'm sending you greetings. Thank you for coming. And if you have any questions, please drop it to the comment. I will answer on everything later. Cambodia is a country in Southeast Asia, and is between Vietnam, Thailand and Laos. So this country has also the sea. Many people don't know it, they are surprised. They didn't expect that Cambodia has also the sea and beaches. And this is actually very positive because the Korongs Islands, they are not so crowded. If you are visiting, for example, Thailand, the islands there are beautiful, but you can feel the travel industry there, and it's really overcrowded. It's not so authentic anymore. And this is in Cambodia really turbo beautiful, that these islands are like traveling in time. Okay, you asked me also if it is easy to travel in Cambodia. And let's say it's okay. You should be prepared for some challenges, but in general, it's okay. If you want to travel across the country, you can try classic local buses, and yeah, it's a standard. It's nothing so special. It's a standard in this part of the world, so don't expect nothing luxury, no toilets, nothing fancy. Yeah? And also the roads are not in best conditions, so even if it's like 60 kilometers, you can go 3 hours. So prepare your nerves. And many people, they are afraid if the Cambodian people are nice. And for me personally, I had only good experiences. But I think in general the Cambodians are nice people, and you can see and feel in the air that something is maybe a bit different, and this is because of their history. So if you are ready for this dark history now, I know this is not like a happy moment, but guys, it's a very important to talk about it, because after Second World War we thought that okay, we had a big lesson and nobody will repeat it, never. But this what happened in Cambodia, it happened in previous century, in the 70s, in the second half of 70s. So it was after Second World War, and it was just a previous few years, yeah. And it was even more cruel, like these regimes of Nazis or of Russians. Like I don't mean it was not bad. I'm now talking about how far it went, and I will tell you more in the moment. So please, I know that a few of you asked me about the Pol Pot, about this history. So if you have any comment or a good point, also please share it in the comments. What happened there in general? So it was 70s, and Pol Pot he he had a socialistic regime, yes, and it started in the 70s when they wanted to get people from Phnom Penh to the countryside, because like usually communists, and especially this communist, wanted to have in the country no money, no religion, nothing, like a classless society, and fully agrar country, yeah. So in 3 days, they get 2 million people from Phnom Penh to countryside. They did it in 3 days. It's crazy. Okay, and what is more interesting is who was enemy of this regime. So enemy can be almost everyone. For example, what is really bizarre, they were afraid of intellectuals, and if you wear glasses for a reading, immediately you went to this camp, because it means you are clever, and they don't want a clever people. Also, if you had any connection with the Western world, even if you just said one word, yeah. So it was really bizarre. And for example, teachers and doctors, they went also away from Phnom Penh, from hospitals, from schools, and few of them they were killed. A few of them they worked on the fields. So this was the whole idea about this regime: just to work on rice fields, don't have your own opinion, and just work. Yeah, I know how it sounds. Also, I have been there. And this tragedy happened in Phnom Penh in 2 main places. And this was also a reason why I went to Cambodia. Like many people, they travel to Cambodia because they want to visit Angkor Wat. But for me, it was the main reason to visit this prison S21 and the killing fields, because I love history. And of course, Angkor Wat is also about the history, and it was the second place. Big difference between this camp in a prison S21 and, for example, Nazi camps or Russian gulags. Don't go there because they want you to work. No, they only want from you information and confession. So all it was only about the torture, starving, cruelty. Your chance to stay alive in this prison was 0. And this is a bit difference, of course. For example, in Oswiecim, Auschwitz, in Poland, you also didn't have a big chance, but still there was something. Yeah? Here in Phnom Penh, in S21, nothing. So it was only about the information, confession, and many people, they already did this confession, but just because they wanted to end of this torture and this pain. So many sources, they are talking different numbers, but usually it's about, in this prison was 20,000 prisoners, and only 7 of them stay alive. In some sources is that 10 people, but nothing more like 15. 15 was max, but average 7. And also many sources, they give you different numbers. Pol Pot killed 1/3, like a third of population of Cambodia. And this is like, I'm not sure if fun fact, but more a fact, that nowadays in Cambodia, there is a very young population. That more like half of people, they are younger, like 25. And this is because of this sad history. So the population in Cambodia is very young, and you can also feel it in the streets when you are traveling, that the atmosphere there is a different. Also, they have a different style of welcoming the travelers. You can feel it there. So they are like a bit maybe more careful, not so turbo welcoming, like for example in Thailand. But I mean, it's still very good, and you can totally understand it. After these years of regime of Pol Pot and his band, Vietnamese army came to S21, so it was over, and these Red Khmers, they know that they are coming, so they tried to clean everything and destroy the proofs. But still, when the Vietnamese army came there, soldiers still can see the blood everywhere. It was fresh, and we have also many photographies, because they forgot their photographies of prisoners. And nowadays, when you are traveling this place, because there are two places, like I told you, S21 is a prison, and it was, before the time of the prison, it was a high school. So you can imagine that on Monday, the kids are learning how to read, and on Friday, their parents there are dying. So this was reality. So Pol Pot turned this high school on the prison, and there was a ground floor for the most dangerous prisoners, and on the second floor there was this classroom were turned to like a prisoner cells, and in like one classroom it was possible to have 100 prisoners. So now still you can travel there and to see everything. I have been there this year in January, and it was good experience to see it. And later I will tell you about differences between this place and European camps. So you can find in this high school these cells. You can see how the things there really happened, because in many rooms you can still find the beds and the chains, also these photographies, and on our photographies are also children. So it's a bit sad, can be emotionally hard for someone, so it's good to be mentally prepared, and it's very important to know about it. So if you don't have a chance to visit it, it's good to have this information, because we didn't have this lesson properly after Second World War, and you can see that it's still repeating, in different countries, maybe a bit different style, but yes, we humans are still the same. Okay, and after this S21, you can go to killing fields. Killing fields are a bit behind the city. Behind Phnom Penh is the capital, and these killing fields are the place where the people were killed. And again, fun fact, the soldiers, these Red Khmers, they tried to save the bullets. So many times they killed people by, I'm sorry now in English, by the things for gardening. You know what I mean, the stuff for gardening. So they saved their bullets, and these murders were, what can I say? So you can find there these fields, and it's still possible to see the bones and the clothes. Also, there is in the middle this big monument, and it's full of human heads. And you can feel in the air still the smell of our death and of the bodies, because it was not so far to the history, and the space between these dead bodies and you is just a few centimeters of the ground. Yeah. So prepare for it mentally and emotionally, and 100% is a good idea to visit it. And maybe the S21 is for 2 or 3 hours, these killing fields for 1 hour. So when you will start early in the morning is best, because in Phnom Penh it's very hot, like you probably know about the weather in Cambodia. So this was a sad history in a short.